nighttime in the countryside is unbelievably dark. If it weren't frog and cricket season, it would be unbelievably silent as well. But yeah, it's frog and cricket season. Crickets right now. So it's pretty darn noisy outside. Oh, man. Yes. Frog and cricket season. I remember growing up as a kid with frog and cricket season. It's always cricket season. I maybe it's not. I don't know. I feel like every time I go outside, it's crickets. I don't know. Anyway, and again, this is probably the perfect environment for getting lost in the thoughts. I feel like Aya needs some time to think herself. After all, I sincerely doubt that she'd go out and get lost or something like that. She's gonna get lost. Okay, partially doubt. Yeah. Oh, Hiroto, your humor is so funny. What? I guess that was a new day, a new chapter? Day 3 unlocked. Taking mermaids as an entity and thinking about them from a character perspective, you could say they play an extremely minor part. After all, they are simply fish. What? No, they're not simply fish. For example, if we were to compare them to an entity like a cat-eared girl... Oh, gross, dude. Cats are typically an object of human affection. No, they're animals. Don't objectify cats, dude. That's weird. And, they're warm, fluffy, smell delightful, and they are raised not to be eaten, but for companionship. Oh, I should mention that I am not saying this because I'm some kind of cat lover. In fact, I just have a distrust of all cats, which is fair. The whiskers, the feet, the eyes. There's no possible way that the theory of evolution would allow the creation of a species where every single quality is made cute. I would point out that the cat is also, like, capable of surviving on its own. It's not... Yeah, Anyway, what are fish when compared to cats? They're slimy, smell raw, and are basically food. You rip off their scales, you slice and dice until they're just right, and you enjoy them as a form of sustenance. And if they weren't cared for as pets, in pets on rare occasions, they would totally be cared for as a spot on dinner tables everywhere. In addition, unlike cat ears, which only take up part of the body to a moderate degree, these creatures have their entire lower half take fish form. I assume he's talking about mermaids. The first people to have come up with this concept ages ago put extreme importance on it just being downstairs. Putting that into consideration, I feel it would be nothing short of an extremely inconvenient way to exist all around. Okay. This is really weird. In order to explain all this, let's look back at the origins and creations of mermaids. The running theory is that our brave forefathers of yesteryear, with the desire to draw beautiful women without being construed as perverts, did so by manipulating the drawing so the bottom halves are fish-like. That is an interesting take on how mermaids were made. I'm going to go with a slightly different take, which is sailors are very horny all the time, and they're out on the ocean, and then there's only so much gay sex you can do. You know what I mean? And then you're like, man, if only this manatee also happened to have other parts that were human-like. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure that it was not about whether or not you were a lewd pervert. I think it was a lot more to do with, I'm super horny right now. I'm pretty sure that's how mermaids came into existence. Now, if that's the case, they should have made them half cats. Why fish and why there? To add insult to injury, mermaids have deep ties to the mythical beasts, sirens, who would lead ships to their doom, which actually they sort of do, but like at least in the Greek depiction, they're like bird women. They're like part bird, which I suppose makes sense with the whole singing thing, but oh god. Feared in ancient legends, these songstresses with lower halves of, oh hey, he did mention it, of birds would cause shipwrecks wherever they were. If you were to look up the legends of half-bird songstresses causing shipwrecks as well, there would be no shortage of results to crop up. The truth is, in European folklore, it would be no exaggeration if you said a siren and mermaids are basically the same thing, which is kind of true, yeah. So what does it mean that they choose to fuse women with fish and not cats so as to make the mermaids into symbols of fear? Still, that doesn't explain the many legends of love between man and mermaid. Yeah, because sailors are horny, bro. Maybe it's a classic example of the more obstacles, the stronger the love burns. The thing is, I don't think mermaid stuff is... There's a few examples of, like, mermaid love, right, where it's like a romantic love, but I feel like there's a lot more examples, especially in sea shanties, of it being about like, I've been out at sea for too long. Those fish are starting to look very appealing. Dr. Freud, most of whose theories have been discredited, once said that all mythical creatures with female form birthed throughout human history are the manifestation of people's sexual daydreams. I kind of agree with that, actually. Looking at things from the perspective of them being sexual daydreams, there has to be some definite reason as to how such a minor entity as the mermaid gathered such worldwide appeal. But by the way, I came to like mermaids because of anime. What? You got a problem with that? Wait. Oh shoot. He's an ichthyophile. I knew that ichthyophilia was going to come up in this game. Just think about it. You're still in kindergarten, and if a female swimmer so much as showed up on TV, your parents would fumble around quickly to change the channel. So it's no exaggeration to say that the mermaid princesses featured in anime would be the only way an underdeveloped boy could start his pursuit of the mysteries of the female body. Not that it would do anything for me nowadays, but still, gay people exist. Just gonna point that out. They continue to exist. It's I think on average it's like between 1 and 6% of the population. Whatever. Wait, I'm getting sidetracked. Anyhow, I've decided to clear these unclassified issues of mine through subjecting myself through clinical research. If I can continue to raise this mermaid, you're not raising the mermaid, then it will all be clear in due time. You're like hanging out with the mermaid. Raising implies that you have some kind of control or mastery of the mermaid or the mermaid's parent or something, and that's not what's going on. Despite her being a freshwater mermaid. Also, no art allowed, by the way. It's just all black screen. This isn't like a glitch. It's just all black screen. Ha! There we go. I get it for the futon. My head hurts. Having these stupid thoughts pop into my mind like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm looking at the background here. He has a gaming system and like a TV and like a boombox and stuff, and then it looks to be tissues and lube. So that's gross. That's a nice touch, though. I appreciate that the developers of the game understood who was going to play this. Other than me, of course, they didn't plan on good old Turbals doing this. That's for sure. These stupid thoughts pop into my mind like a raging storm just before I wake up as par for the course. I wish I could think this darn fast during exams. Ugh! Finding myself at a loss, I look at my side. That's when, oh my God, it's a girl. Z. Ian is continuing the tradition of yesterday, sleeping on my futon yet again. This behavior also supports the credibility of my theory that mermaids unconsciously seek warm locales. I don't know how many times she's tossed and turned in her sleep, but my futon is covered in scales. Ooh. It's the same kind of visual as sleeping with your cat. Just stop! Don't compare women to cats or just objects or animals. So it turns out women's rights are human rights. Some people don't understand this. Obviously Hiroto doesn't. It's the same kind of visual as sleeping with your hand on the same futon, having cat hair stuck everywhere on it. Gugh. Or sorry, GHG, which is greenhouse gases. So clearly he's talking about climate change. Transparent and rainbow-colored shining scales are so big and thick that a normal fish's scales could pretty much pale in comparison. Well, actually, let's be honest here. There's a lot of fish that are way bigger than people. So, like, small fish, yes. But, like, she's not... If she was 100% fish, she would not be an abnormally large fish. She would just be... She would be a large fish, but not like a gigantic fish. Also, the fishy smell they exude is actually weaker, I think. So it's it's so weak in odor that a quick wash with some soap would clear it right up. Maybe I should make a keychain out of them or something. I put a few of her shiny rainbow-colored scales into my pocket. Just stuff them in there, Hiroto. Good grief. I softly slip out of my futon and tuck Ion back in. There we go. One oversized sushi roll finished. Okay, that's kind of cute. Guess I should just wake her up after I get a simple breakfast going. I'm going to introduce you to a simple and scientifically sound 3-minute recipe. I don't want to hear it. Fine. Take out your eggs and show the respect for all of its glory. Then take your egg yolk and egg whites. Okay, I'm not going to do that every single time. That just hurts too much. All right, symbols of separatism. Oh, and mix them together in a single Pangea. This is just scrambled eggs. Heat some pouch rice in the microwave. Stir it up. Praise the egg and rice. And then it's separated entities since day of old together as one. Then give it 1 or 2 minutes in the microwave. That sounds disgusting. That does not sound good. Egg cooked in microwave. No good. No bad. Bad. Not good. Lament the eggs that have turned into something unlike anything ever before, and give blessing to the fact that they have been reborn anew. Take it out, cry. Mayonnaise and soy sauce. Wipe your tears, stir it, and eat. It's okay. If you're from Japan, if this is a common breakfast egg mayo special, please forgive my ignorance, but from my perspective that does not sound very good, and it sounds exactly like something a college student who's too misogynistic to learn how to cook because he doesn't want to be gay, that to me sounds like the breakfast of such a man as that. The ultimate breakfast. No, it's not. With chopsticks being the only form of dishes you need to do afterward. Well, what are you cooking the egg in? Like, no, bowl? Like, have a little bowl? Like, are you just dumping the egg in the rice packet? Because that's even weirder. I'm considerate of myself since I'll be consigned to doing dishes in the future. How simply scientific. Now then, I suppose I should wake her up. You're really lucky eggs exist, Hiroto, and are relatively easy to cook, or otherwise you'd have died of malnutrition. Ion, rise and shine. ZZ. Morning time. Just 10 more minutes. Okay. It's already 9. That's not bad. Okay, it's 8, so Suvi. On country time, there are no lates. True. No, you're already quite behind if I do say so myself. Question mark? Why, you should be using this precious time to work towards your dreams, not having them. I say in a rather debonair fashion. Okay, yeah. Oh. Eyes of red eyes take warning. I'm sorry. Ion gets up, grog. How are her boobs moving like that? That is, ooh, they don't work like that. Ooh, it's gross. Ion gets up groggily, scudding over to the dining table. Her hair is way more wild and unkempt compared to yesterday morning. She's almost unrecognizable. Even her fins and gills look kind of limp. Hunk. Ion starts to eat my egg mayo special in half zombie mode. She sure can eat with her eyes closed. Her eyes are clearly open. Nevertheless, she's awfully hard to wake up this morning. Should she not get a good night's sleep? Don't tell me. Did she not sleep? She's sleeping right now. No, don't go to sleep. I don't even know. Okay, fine. So she's sleeping. Ion gradually begins to slump out of her chair. She then rolls herself up in the futon and once again begins to super roll in a jumbo-sized sushi wrap. I think she's entering hibernation, which is a thing that mermaids do. And because the cord on her clothes is slack, yeah, what? Is it you can see her weird boobs? Okay. Boy, turning my attention over to her again. I have to say her growth really is incredible. Haha. Well, I'm done, girl. I can't believe you've gotten so big. Ha. Don't be... Wow, Hiroto, I'm so turned on right now. I can't. No, I'm not. I'm not turned on. No one's turned on by this. Oh, ew, dude, don't touch people while they're sleeping. Oh, gross. However, I leave this matter alone. It is bound to invite chaos. I reach out, trying to close up the cord of Ion's tunic, but slap. Oh, she's awake. Hey, Ion. Yeah, that is the only correct response. You should just attack him. Murder him, and then the game would be over. She swings her gigantic fishtail at me, or so I think. Due to her being a giant blanketed sushi roll right now, she ends up unable to swing her tail and instead unintentionally throws a tackle at me while rolling at high speed. Once again, the thought of dodging crosses my mind. I instantly try to locate a spot where I might be able to move over, but jutting out from the pillar of the room's one corner, I can dodge into his rusty nail. So I'm going to have to take a tackle head on. But hey, probably won't hurt nearly as bad as her tail. It's okay. I'm so tired of this saga dance. He's way too verbose. It looks like I'm going to get rammed by her back. I buckle up to ready myself for the shock, but then time freezes. Something's off here. There's something sharp coming out of Ion's back. Fins, not quite. Those things clearly bursting through her clothing. They're spines! Yes, spines! 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 Why do they say it's spines a little over 10 centimeters and they look filled with venom? Gah. Spines coming at me from the front, a rusty nail looming right by my side, and now, of course, time resumes, of course. Okay, that level of sound was a little over the top, don't you think, game creators? I really thought I was a goner here. I had a scientific glimpse of the white light at the end of the tunnel. It was the most careless I've ever been in my life. How could I have overlooked the venomous spines stuck to a fish's dorsal fin? Is that a thing with salmon? I don't think that's a thing with salmon. And how do you know they're venomous? They're just spines, dude. I exhausted every fiber of my being into making that emergency escape. No way I could pull off that stunt again, not even if you told me. Flop. Ion rolls onto the floor. The look on her face tells me she had no idea what just happened, and I'm about to scold her to keep the spines on her back in check when this happens. When it happens. Yes, that's when it happens. What? Okay, well, that's some fan service, but also she got legs. Done. She's a girl again. Suddenly, right before my eyes, a silt of milky white thighs, supple, smooth, and a little damp for whatever reason. But yeah, those are thighs, all right. Okay, all right. Yeah. Before I have a chance to comprehend what's going on here, before I have a chance to wonder what's going on with Ion, in an instant, my head shifts gears. I lose my ability to think about anything other than Ion's milky white thigh. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Milky white is not it's not sexy. It's not doing it for me. Huh? Thighs? But mermaids don't have thighs. Also, Ion is a set of thighs right now, but there doesn't seem to be anything else on them. Yes, she is naked from the bottom down. I get that. Yeah, no. The mermaid and I stare at each other in awkward silence. We're both at a loss for words, completely silent. Ion turns her eyes away from me. And then... Oh. Oh, and action. You're gonna get kicked in the face, dude. Also, as such, my consciousness once again slips into darkness because of all the blood come out my nose. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's go. When I open my eyes, I find myself laid out on the floor. Why was I sleeping here of all places? Last thing I remember, I woke up in the morning and tried to feed a half-awake Ion. Ion is snug beneath the covers with her tail popping out from underneath as she exudes an overwhelming aura that says, "Please don't wake me up." This feels very fever dreamy, and I think mermaid magic is to blame, and also the writers. I don't know what the writers are on. That's for sure. No, don't do drugs. Okay, skip. I randomly head out to the yard while clutching my throbbing head. It's morning in the countryside, and the chirping of the cicadas are serve as a rather peaceful background music. Man, I'm sluggish. There's a fine morning mist draping over the scenery this morning. I may have forgotten my initial plan in coming here and haven't been able to take it easy in the past few days, but I finally got some time on my hands to take it all in and refresh myself. Alrighty, what should I do now? Chat in the house, to visit the fields, secure rations. I think that I am sick of Ion. I am sick of everything. I'm going to take a trip to the fields. Oh, wow. That was some top-notch and surprisingly diverse content from me, Turtle Selbor. If you liked that, you should subscribe and comment. And yeah, just remember, gaming's for everybody, not just for like your older brother who has like a neck beard.